Hi guys, had a question on one of my old rubber band powered car videos. It was titled Cardboard, 2 pencils and 5 paper clips. And the person asking the question is, well, I think it's Martin Douwes, D-O-U-W-E-S. Right, well the cardboard I used in that video was some quite thick stuff. I don't have anything like it now. I do have this fairly thin stuff. Basically you've got a cardboard rectangle for the body, circles for the wheels, and paper clips for the axles to go through. Oh, pencils for the axles. And then I used the paper clips to make the axle bearings, whatever we want to call them. Just straighten them out a bit. I'm just looking at that pencil I've got down there. I'm sure that's curved. Might have to find a straighter one. But yeah, all I do is straighten the paper clips out a bit, wrap them around, so you've got 2 legs sticking out. If you wrap them around tight, then obviously the pencil won't turn, so you have to wrap them around tight and then back them off a bit so they loosen up, so the pencil can spin, or the axle can spin in it easily. Now, in the original video, it was nice thick cardboard, and you could actually poke one leg in the top of the cardboard, in one of the gaps, and the other leg further up, because it was nice thick cardboard, so you could actually have the axle, or the axle bearing, on the back there, nice and easy. Now his problem is apparently he can't get these to stick in place. Not quite sure why, but he can't. So fair enough. I would think if you just crush them up a bit more and then open them out again and bend them the right sort of way, we ought to be able to get them to go on the outside instead of the inside and take them in place there. So that's what I'm going to try and do. I shall cut a rectangle out of this and then bend up 4 of the paper clips like this and see if I can just tape them on the outside and see if that will hold them still enough. Because they're really there just to stop the axle falling off. Hold it in place. We'll see. So we need a right angle. So we've got a nice straight edge. So I'll just cut a rectangle out of the cardboard. That's my rectangle of cardboard for the body, and while I'm cutting things on the cutting board, I'll draw some circles for the wheels. How big should we go? I go for a radius of 80 millimeters, so that'll be 160 diameter. Just find a bit of space. This is just some old scrap cardboard that something was packed in at some time or other. I can't remember whether you were allowed to use glue in the original project. It was one that somebody had asked me to do. In fact, I don't remember whether you were allowed to use sticky tape either, which was probably why I'd come up with the idea of pushing the paper clips into the cardboard, so we didn't actually need to use any sticky tape. I'm only doing this video to see if I can use the paper clips and stick them on the outside. So I'm not really trying to replicate the original video and do everything the same way. But at the same time, I still find it interesting to try and get one that will work. So you just have to bear with me while I make a complete rubber band powered car just to answer a short question. Obviously you could cut this out with a sharp knife. Given a choice, I always use CDs for wheels because they're a handy ready-made circle or disc. Right, that's our four wheels, that's our body. Now we want to see if we can stick the paper clips to the outside with tape rather than sliding them inside in the thicker cardboard. Oh, we also need a little slot out the bottom there. That's to give you room to wrap the rubber band round the axle. Right, sticky tape. So I'm just going to put these on the outside. Now they're probably going to slop around a little bit. Probably put an extra bend in them to stop them slopping around, but I don't know if that'll matter anyway. Right, the idea is that goes through there. Well, we'll find out in a minute if that works, won't we? I swapped because that one seems just a little bit thinner. Yeah, that could be a problem with them slopping around. See, go all the way over and go back a bit, that opens it up. I'm just wondering if I bend them again sideways, whether that will help us to hold it straight when we tape it. So I've got a little L shape in there. Right the way around, back a bit, and bend them off. Like that. Clear, clear, so we've got a bit of an L shape on them. I'm sure the original build said you couldn't use sticky tape, which is why I was doing the push in, making them slot in place. Okay, the other thing we need is one more paper clip to hook the rubber band onto. We actually don't need to use a paper clip. You could just cut a slot in there and hook the rubber band onto the slot. But because I used it originally, we'll try it again. Now this time I can't see a problem with, well, we'll still tape it to the outside. So, on there like that. So if I did this again, and I wasn't trying to copy my original design, I would just cut a slot in there. How did I do that? Turned it upside down. Right, so just lay that on there, sticky tape over there, so that should hold it in place when the rubber band's tied on there. Right, obviously we need the wheels. Now, you want them to be a tight fit. Again, if you're allowed to, I would glue them or put sticky tape on them to hold them in place. And you want to make sure you've got a gap so they don't rub against the bodywork. Okay, so that's our basic. We now need some rubber bands to go front to back. Right, the old question is usually how do you join rubber bands together? So we've got a couple of rubber bands here. These are a bit old actually, they might break, but we'll try them. So push a loop through a loop, and then take the other end and push that through the loop that you've just made. So there you go. That's joined them together. So push the loop through, push the other end through that loop, join together. Okay, that might actually be a bit too long. Never mind. Then at this end, I don't know if the camera will catch it. Push that through your paper clip so you've got a nice big loop, and then push the rest of the rubber bands through that loop, and there you are, joined together. Yes, I've made that too long. See if we can take one off. Right, so now at this end, rubber band over the pencil, hold it in place while you roll it around. Once it's over the top of itself, it holds itself in place. And we can wind it up and let it go. So I'll go and put the light on in the kitchen and we'll see if we can run up the kitchen floor. Same again. Wrap it round the axle so it holds itself in place. Are we ready? Oh, went a bit left. Okay, we'll point it right a bit. You could spend time adjusting the axle tubes to try and straighten it up if it's continuously going to one side or the other. The other thing you might find is if it's too light, the wheels will spin on the floor, so you might have to add some weight to it. Still going left. Right, we'll try again. Oh, that was better. Still going left a bit, but at least we did more or less the length of the kitchen, which is about 5 meters. Well, that works. The full distance from that door to that door is 8 meters. And I think we'd have done it if we hadn't hit the cars. So I will say that's job done for Martin Doos. Cardboard car with pencils for axles, paper clips for the axle bearings. We've actually used 5 paper clips, 2 at the back, 2 at the front, and then an extra one in the middle there to hold the rubber bands. And I've used 3 of those little cheap rubber bands from Poundland. I'm sure in the original video I wasn't allowed to use tape, but I've used it in this one. And it works. Job done. Hope that helps you, Martin.